I begin in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. This is C.L. Edwards, and I'm back again with a new video. The title of this video is Artemis, Alat, and the Black Stone. So let's get started. In the Arabian city of Mecca, embedded in the eastern corner of the cube-shaped Kaaba, is the Al-Hajar al-Aswad, or the Black Stone. The Black Stone, originally a pagan Arab relic, is said to be a meteorite fallen from the heavens. Recently, some have proposed that it is a terrestrial rock. It was venerated and used in pagan rituals visited by the Arabs from all around Arabia before Islam, Muhammad, or the Quran ever existed. Around it sat 360 idols, and it was a part of a larger structure called the Kaaba, whom the god Hubal, which was the Arab version of Baal or Baal, was the head deity with the title Lord of the Kaaba. Islamic tradition says that the black stone was originally white and fell down from heaven, but it turned black from being exposed to the sins of the world. Abraham is said to have been instructed by an angel to venerate the black stone, along with building the Kaaba, with his son Ismail, or Ishmael, as he is known to many of you. The black stone is not unique from the perspective of Semitic peoples using stones to mark scarce places, nor was the Kaaba the sole place of worship in pre-Islamic Arabia. There were multiple square-shaped houses of worship with venerated stones, like the white stone in the Kaaba of Al-Balat, which was located due south of Mecca. Scarce stones are known as Beit El, or Bethel, house of God. Merriam-Webster defines this as a roughly shaped stone as a meteorite held scarce or worshipped as of being a divine origin. There are numerous such stones all around the world, from the cities of Babylus and Tyre to Ephesus. In western Syria, in the city of Emesa, a black stone said to be a meteorite was used to worship the god Ilahag Gabal, or El Gabal, which means God of the mountain. It is reported that the Roman historian Herodian writes of that stone, "This stone is worshipped as though it were sent from heaven. On it there are some small projecting pieces and markings that are pointed out, which the people would like to believe are rough pictures of the sun, because this is how they see them." El Gabal was also said to have been assigned 3 goddesses as his wife. Ashtarti, known in Babylon as Ishtar, the personification of the planet Venus, known to the Greeks as Aphrodite, the morning and evening star, i.e. the planet Venus. Minerva and Urania. As Aphrodite, the morning and evening star, i.e. the planet Venus, Minerva and Urania. In Phoenicia folklore, Astarte or Aphrodite in Greek is said to have wandered throughout the world and took up a star that was fallen from the sky, a meteorite, and consecrates it at the city of Tyre. Also in Phoenician paganism, she is said to be one of 3 wives of the god El. Now do not get confused at the various names used by various cultures. They are all speaking of the same prototype goddess. Each culture just put its own spin on the myth. Each one morphed into the other. Artemis is Diana, who is Astarte, who is Ishtar, who is Venus, who is Isis, who is Aphrodite, whose equivalent in their Arabian pagan system, according to the Greek historian Herodotus, is Alat, the pre-Islamic daughter of Allah, with some traditions even calling her the wife of Allah. According to the Book of Idols, Kitab al-Asnam by Hisham ibn al-Kalbi, the pre-Islamic Arabs believed Alat resided in the Kaaba and also had an idol inside the sanctuary. Now, look at the quote from Eastern Orthodox Christian apologist and monk John of Damascus, who in a scathing critique of Islam asked why Muslims accuse Christians for venerating the cross when they venerated the black stone at the Kaaba. He said of the black stone, I quote, "And this thing, which they say is a stone, is the head of Aphrodite, which they venerated, who they also call Kabar, upon which is even up to this now the shadow of an inscription appears to careful observers." We see that he connects the black stone with being a pre-Islamic idol for Aphrodite, or the Arab version, Alat, daughter of Allah. And the pagan Arabs called it Kibar or Kabar, which Muslims use that same word to venerate Allah to this very day. It is said in the expression, Allahu Akbar, Allah is great. Now let us look at Acts chapter 9. The background of this is Paul is in Ephesus, which was in the modern day Turkey, and some of the idol makers stirred up the townspeople, saying Paul and his students had come to do away with the worship of the goddess Artemis. So the men in the town gathered in the open theater and began to shout, "Artemis is great! Artemis is great!" for 2 hours before anyone could calm them down. In verse 35, an official of the town admonishes the men to stop rioting and assures them that everyone knows that, quote, "Who is there who does not know that the city of Ephesus is the temple keeper of the great Artemis and of the great scarce stone that fell from the sky?" The great temple of Ephesus contained a meteor stone used by these pagans to worship Artemis, who we have already shown was the equivalent of the Arabian Alat. The black stone at the Kaaba in Arabia was just one of many such terrestrial rocks pagans took and used in their temples to represent the presence of the virginal goddess, queen of the heaven, female god of hunting, reproduction, and sexual pleasure, whose symbol was the moon, who under the personification of Ashtoreth is condemned as an abomination in the Bible, an alien god in opposition to Yahweh, God of Israel. She is mentioned in 1 Kings 11:5 and 33, 2 Kings 23 and 13, Judges 2 and 13, and 10 and 6, 1 Samuel 7 and 3 and 4, 12 and 10, and 31 and 10. Ashtoreth is usually mentioned along with her spouse, Molech. The Canaanites offered ritual sets, which included homosexual sex acts with temple prostitutes to the sex goddess. The Apostle Paul references the Roman version of this filthy pagan worship in Romans 1:26 through 27. Her name has been found to have been inscribed on the black stone called the Moab stone. Her cohort, Molech, whose general title was Baal, or Lord, similar to the Arabian god called Hubal, the Lord of the Kaaba, was represented as a bronze statue with a hollowed out center, which was an oven. They would sacrifice babies alive to him, similar to the pagan Arabs who used to bury their daughters alive in the pre-Islamic times. It is clear that the black stone Muslims are required to make pilgrimage to and kiss is the ancient pagan idol Alat, daughter of Allah, the Ashtoreth of the Old Testament, and the Artemis of the New Testament. The Islamists would have the whole world convert to Islam and perform the Hajj and venerate this idol Set's goddess.